This week, I'm going to lead you through a flow practice where our peak pose is going to be hand to big toe, standing balancing pose. But before that, we're going to prepare the body, quite a lot of strengthening and stretching for the legs. Let's get started. For this week's practice, you might like to have some kind of a strap or a belt or towel would do well as well. And then either one block or maybe a pillow, something you can use for a supported bridge in the end. So those would be our props for today. And then we're going to start from lying down on the back. And as you come lying down, have your strap or belt somewhere nearby. We are going to go quite quickly into our asana practice. We'll just take a few breaths here. You could have your knees bent to begin with. And just bring hands onto your belly and take a few just slightly slower breaths in and out. And with a few exhalations, let your shoulders soften, let your neck soften. If Ujjayi breath is a part of your practice, then you could start to look for a gentle Ujjayi breath here, supporting your core engagement. As we are preparing for a big balancing pose, we're going to need all the core support we can have today. And then still lying down, you could open arms out to the sides like a cactus shape. And a few times swing the knees, the legs from side to side, that windshield wipers movement. Looking for movement in the hips, lower back, a bit of twisting going on in the spine. Check that you can still keep your shoulders, your neck soft. And after those few swings, we'll bring legs to center, and then we'll reach for the belt, for the strap. And we're going to bring the strap around the right foot. Now, if you don't have a strap, you can also bring hands behind the knee, behind the thigh, just finding a way to support that right leg. And you can still keep the left knee bent. We'll just a few times swing that right leg from side to side. Now, looking for more movement in the right hip. You could have the right knee bent, so we don't have to fully straighten the right leg, but just notice that you can move that right leg from the hip joint. And then we're going to keep the right leg in the center. If you're using a strap, you could slide your right hand a bit higher up along that strap and bring left hand somewhere around that left hip. Either keeping the left knee bent or extend your left leg now. And this is our hand to big toe pose. This is going to be our peak pose. Now we're just doing it lying down on the back. But at the end of the practice, we're going to do this standing up. So here the left leg would be your supporting standing leg. So really focus on engaging that left leg. Also imagine you're trying to kick that right foot up towards the ceiling, away from the chest, trying to activate that right leg as well. You might feel a big stretch at the back of that right leg, maybe at the front of the left leg. And then we're going to slowly, with the next breath, open the right leg out to the side. Here, I like to bring my right elbow onto the mat, onto the floor. And just finding a more open shape. Now focus still on that supportive side, that left side. Try to keep that left leg active. And try not to let your pelvic tilt out to the side. So keeping core engaged and breathing in and out. Take another breath here. And then as you inhale, bring that right leg back up to center. And now bend your both knees to your chest. You could rock a bit from side to side. And we'll do that same pose, same movements on the other side. So if you're using a strap, bring your left foot into the strap. If you're not using a strap, just slide hands behind the left leg. And first bring your right foot on the mat, left hand holding the belt, the strap, and just swing the left leg from side to side. Or you might even do circles, looking for a movement in the left hip joint. Again, making yourself aware that you can move that left hip joint. Again, the left leg could be bent here. We don't need to fully straighten the leg. And then start to bring your right hand onto the right hip. Leave your left leg in the center. You can slide your left hand closer to the foot. And see if you could now extend your right leg. That might increase the stretch that you feel at the back of the left leg. Activate that right leg and imagine you're trying to stand on that right foot. And at the same time, kick the left foot away from your chest, activating that left leg. It could be that the left knee is still bent. That's very fine. Shoulders drawing in, so don't let the legs pull your arms out. Inhale, exhale, start to open now the left leg out to the left side. Again, don't let the left leg pull your right hip. Keep the right leg active here. I'm bringing my left elbow onto the floor now. And breathing in and out. Feeling you have that control from the core. You have that control around the hips. And you can still breathe. Take another breath in and out. And then with the next breath, bring your left leg back to center. You can bend both knees to chest, and now you can take the strap away, put the strap somewhere next to your mat, and just hug the knees in. And then bring your both feet onto the mat, preparing for a bridge. We want to activate on the other side as well. Arms down next to your sides. Feel your feet pressing onto the mat. Inhale. And as you exhale, press the feet down to elevate your pelvis, your back off the mat. Opening across the front, especially focus here on your feet, inner thighs, that connection from your feet to your pelvis. Not allowing knees to drop out to the sides. And still breathing in and out. Again, it could be that gentle Ujjayi breath. Take another breath in and out. Feel all corners of your feet pressing down. And then as you exhale, slowly release the back, the pelvis down. Hug knees back into your chest. And now lift your head towards the knees. So you're rounding your neck, your upper back. And with this rounded shape in the spine, start to rock forward and back. Few times, rocking yourself all the way up into a seat, and find a cross-legged seat. You can rock a bit from one buttock to the other. We'll do a seated twist here. So now first, bring your left hand behind you, maybe fingertips on the mat or the whole hand on the mat, and your right hand on the left knee or thigh. Inhale, gently lengthen up through the back. And as you exhale, twist out to your left. It could be a very small movement. Take a couple of breaths and try to send those breaths to your chest space and out to the ribs. Then as you exhale, release the twist. And we'll go to the other side. Now left hand on the right knee or thigh, right hand behind you. Again, it could be just fingertips on the mat. Inhale to lengthen up. And exhale, twist to your right. Try to keep tops of the shoulders soft. So if you notice that you're tensing your shoulders, really focus on easing away from the twist slightly, so that you feel you can keep the shoulders soft. Take another breath in. And then exhale, release the twist. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to move on to hands and knees. So you could step hands over your legs or come up sideways. Bring yourself onto hands and knees, opening your palms. You could rock a bit from side to side, spreading fingers, and then tuck the toes under. Exhale, lift the pelvis up into a downward facing dog. First downward dog, you can move from side to side. You could rock your heels from side to side. And soften the neck, maybe turning the head a couple of times so you're releasing the neck. And then we're going to walk the feet wider apart. So maybe stepping your feet to the edges of the mat, the sides of the mat. So it's a wide-legged downward dog. And we start to walk hands to the feet. Maybe bending the knees, walking hands all the way to the feet. So you find yourself in a full forward bend, bringing all of the weight onto your feet. So releasing weight off the hands. Knees could be bent here. Now walk your both hands to your right foot. You could take hold of your foot or ankle or shin and just take a couple of breaths. Exhaling, see if you can go a tiny bit closer to that right leg. Again, knees could stay bent here. Next, in breath, open your chest away from the legs and walk hands to your left foot. Again, maybe hands around or close to the left foot, ankle or shin. Couple of breaths. Exhale, bring yourself tiny bit closer to that leg. Not pulling with the hands, but more using your core muscles, hip flexors to bring yourself closer to that leg. Another breath in and out. And then inhale again, release chest away from the legs, bring yourself back to center. Now exhale, bend the knees, bring all the weight onto the feet, and then inhale, roll your back up. If you want, you can reach arms up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, release the arms. You can heel toe your feet closer together. So we find ourselves feet roughly hip width apart at the end of the mat in a mountain pose. From here, we'll go into a flow for the legs, first on the left side. And we start with a balancing pose. Now shift your weight onto the right foot and bring your left knee towards the chest, towards the belly. You could help with your hands to lift the knee closer to your chest. Here, feel the standing legs strong. Again, all corners of the feet grounding down. Back long, head reaching up. Take another breath in. As you exhale, step your left foot far forward into a high lunge. You can adjust your feet. And then as you inhale, lift your arms up, open the chest. Exhale, cactus the arms. Active opening across the chest. Keeping the left foot grounded, the right heel is now off the mat. The right knee could be slightly bent. Take another breath here, in and out. And then with the next breath, close your chest. Bring your right elbow onto your left knee or thigh. You can lean the elbow onto the thigh. And then as you inhale, twist out to the left. Lengthening the left arm out. Doesn't need to be up to the ceiling. Could be more out to the side as well. Take another breath here. Rotating that left arm out. And then exhale, bring left arm behind the back. And bring your right hand onto the mat. We're going to inhale and open the chest a bit further. So now you can use the support of that right arm. Maybe you're rotating the left hip slightly open. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, close the twist. Close that left hip. Bring both hands on the mat, or maybe just fingertips on the mat. And as you inhale, extend that left leg more. It doesn't need to be fully straight. We're going to exhale, bend forward over that left leg. You could have hands, you could have just fingertips on the mat. Again, the left knee could be as bent or as straight as feels good right now. You could turn your left foot toes up to the ceiling. Take another breath here, in and out. And then as you exhale, bring your weight back onto that front foot, staying in that high lunge. And now we're going to find our balance again. As you inhale, windmill your arms up, left arm leading the way. Bring left hand onto the right thigh behind you. And then as you inhale, open your chest. You could either reach the right arm up or bring right hand behind the head, behind the neck. Twisting, back bending, balancing all at once. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, release the pose. Slowly bring hands onto the mat. And we'll step into downward dog. Again, walking feet wider apart in that downward dog. And you could shift the weight a bit from side to side. Couple of breaths in and out, head dropping down. And like we did before, walk your hands to your feet. You can bend your knees, bring weight onto your heels as well. And then keeping knees bent, inhale, roll the back up. You can reach arms up, open the chest. And exhale, release arms down and heel toe your feet closer together. And we'll do those same poses on the other side, for the right side. So now, shift weight onto your left foot and lift your right knee towards the chest. Here, see if you keep your both hips about in the same level, so we're not hiking that right hip up. And that might mean that your right hip rotates slightly open. Again, long back and feeling that standing foot grounded, long line from your left heel to the back of your head. Take another breath in and out. Maybe right ankle and foot flex, activating the leg even more. And then we're going to step the right foot far forward, again into that high runner's lunge. You can then adjust your feet so you feel steady. And inhale, lift your back up, open the chest. Exhale, again, cactus the arms. And here, again, dropping the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. So you're more focused on connecting arms to your upper back, shoulder blades, armpits, so the underside connected. Take another breath in and out. And then with the next breath, close your chest. And now bring your left elbow onto the right knee or thigh. And then we're going to inhale, twist out to the right. Again, lengthening the right arm up, but it doesn't need to be straight up to the ceiling. It might be slightly diagonally in front of you. Trying to rotate that right shoulder open. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, bring right arm behind the back and step your left hand onto the mat. Inhale, twisting again to the right, but now you might rotate the right hip open and maybe find a bit more space for that twist. Maybe the whole pelvis rotates. You might look up. You might also look down to the mat if that releases the neck more. One more breath in. Keep the left leg active. And then exhale, release the twist, close the right hip, and both hands or maybe just fingertips down. We're going to inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, folding forward over that right leg. Again, right knee could stay bent. You could turn the right foot toes up to the ceiling. You can allow head to drop down. So again, releasing the neck. Take another breath in and out. Big opening for the whole back side. And then as you exhale, shift the weight back forward onto that right foot, back into that lunge. And now start to lead the way up with your right arm. So now right arm swings up. Right hand reaches for the left hamstring. And then inhale, exhale, reaching up through the left arm, bending back and twisting at the same time out to the right. Again, you can also choose to bring the left hand behind the neck, behind the head. So bending the elbow. Make sure you are breathing. Try to keep your chest open. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale. Release the pose. Bring hands down. And then again, we're going to step into that downward dog. Again, legs wide apart. And we're going to add one brief vinyasa flow here if you want. If you don't, just stay in downward dog. But if you want, now walk feet closer together. And then inhale forward into plank. Exhaling to low plank. Knees could be on the mat. And inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Just allowing a bit of opposite opening here. And exhale back into that downward dog, opening the feet, legs wider apart. And then walk hands to your feet. Full forward bend. Bend the knees, and as you inhale, roll the back up. You can reach arms up, open the chest. And exhale, release the arms. Roll the shoulders a few times. And then we're going to prepare for our peak pose, that standing hand to big toe pose. And you could use your strap for this, or you can reach hand to your foot. You can choose. So if you want, you can use the strap around the foot, just like we did when we were lying down on the back. Or I'm going to show you now how to reach hand to your foot. So just find a space where you have some room around you. Find yourself in that standing mountain pose. And we'll start by standing on the right foot. And we're going to first, like we did, reach the left knee up. So bring left knee towards the chest, towards the belly. And this is where you could bring the strap around your left foot, or with your index and middle finger, now reach for the left foot big toe and wrap your fingers around the toe, also activating the toe. Right hand on the right hip, and then lift your back up again. Standing leg could be bent. And you can stay here or go for what we did in the beginning, lying down on the back. Inhale, start to extend, kick your left leg in front of you. And again, it doesn't need to be fully straight. You can leave the left knee bent. Pull your left shoulder towards your back. So again, don't let the leg pull the arm out. And focus on your breath. Really try to lift your back up, away from the leg. And if you want to try that open version, inhale, exhale, start to open the left leg out to the side again, looking for a movement from the left hip, not allowing the whole pelvis to turn. Keep that right side as your anchor, just rotating from the left hip joint. Again, drawing the left shoulder, the left arm in. Still breathing. Take another breath here, in and out. You can come down earlier if you want to. If you have the left leg out on the side, exhale, close the left hip. And then bend the left knee. You can hold the knee, hold the shin. And finally release the foot down. That was a long balancing pose. And if that feels too long, you can always come down earlier, then maybe come back into the pose. So you can break down the time that you stay in the pose. Move your feet, move your shoulders a bit, and we'll do the same to the other side. Now, other side might feel different. That is very fine. So from 2 feet, now we're going to come stand on the left foot. So left leg becomes our standing, our grounded leg. And then lift the right knee towards the chest, towards the belly. Again, you might use the strap around the right foot. Or on this side with your right hand, index and middle finger, reach for the right foot big toe. And I do suggest bending that right foot big toe as well. So you're kind of hooking the fingers and the toe. Left hand on the left hip. And just again, imagine you're trying to lift your back up. Now you can stay here, or you can start to kick the right foot out in front of you. Again, don't let the leg pull your back forward. So you're resisting that pulling forward with your back, trying to keep the back long. You can keep the right knee bent, or you can fully extend the right leg. Keep breathing, drawing that right shoulder in again. Maybe breathing a bit more up to the chest and out to the ribs. You can stay here, or inhale, exhale, start to rotate the right hip open. Again, trying to control from that right hip, so it's not the whole pelvis turning, but the left side here now stays as your anchor. Again, checking the shoulders when you've found a new shape. And breathing. Keeping the hand, keeping the foot active. Again, you might come down earlier. Breathe in and out. One more breath. And then if you have your right leg open, exhale, close that right hip. And then bend the right knee. You can support with your hands, open the chest. And then release your feet down. You can move the feet, move the shoulders. Bring hands behind the back, interlock fingers. And inhale, open the chest. And take another breath in and out, just opening across the front of the shoulders and chest. And then we're going to exhale, fold forward. You can leave arms behind the back. You can even extend arms away from the back, or just release the arms down. Couple of breaths in and out. And then if you have the arms behind the back, slowly, gently soften the arms down. Bring hands onto the mat. And shift weight onto hands and knees. So come down onto all fours. And then into a seat. Slowly coming down onto the mat. And now from here, we're going to again find a cross-legged seat. We'll go into cow face arms. And you could use a strap. If you have a strap, you could use a strap here again. I'm going to turn my back to you just so you can see what we're going to do with the arms. So in that seat, this is more of a shoulder stretch now. We're going to bring the right arm next to the head. So we bend the right elbow. I'm going to have the strap in my right hand as I bring right hand between the shoulder blades. And then bending the left arm down, and then hand reaching up towards that right hand. Now, you might be able to hook your fingers together here, or if you have the strap, just hold the strap with the left hand as well. And then you can slowly walk your left hand closer to the right hand along the strap. Try not to puff your chest out, but let your chest soften, and that sends the pose more to your shoulders. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, start to slowly release the left arm, release the right arm. And you can move your hands, move your shoulders. We'll do the same pose to the other side. Now I'm going to be facing you, so you'll see the same pose from the front as well. So now it's going to be your left hand going up. So if you're using a strap, bring your strap to your left hand. And then bring your left arm next to your head, bend the elbow so that your left hand reaching towards the shoulder blades in the upper back. And then right arm goes down, and then you reach your right hand towards the left hand, or take hold of the strap behind your back. So I have now 2 hands holding the strap. Hands can't reach together today. And again, I'm now puffing my chest out. So exhale, soften the chest, and really more focus on the shoulders. It's very common that one side feels different than the other. When it comes to shoulders and arms, we tend to be a bit one-sided. We tend to do more things on one side than the other. So it's very natural if you feel that this pose feels now different on the second side. Just focus on breathing. We'll take another 1 or 2 breaths here, in and out. And then slowly start to release the right arm. Release the left arm. Now you can put your strap, if you use the strap, just put it next to your mat. You can roll the shoulders. And then we are going to come lie down on the back. And now if you have your block, your pillow, anything you can use for a supported bridge, reach for that prop. And then come lie down on the back. First to a few windshield wipers, just to soften your pelvis, your back towards the mat. And then we are going to go into a supported bridge. So reach for your block, your pillow, your bolster, feet on the mat. Press the feet down and elevate your pelvis, your back off the mat. And then slide your prop under your pelvis. Where you feel you can then rest your pelvis onto that support. Now we've done a lot with the arms, supporting the legs. It might be nice here to bring arms overhead along the floor. Just let the shoulders soften. If you want, you could open your legs into a butterfly shape. Or you might extend your legs, keeping heels on the mat. Just make sure that the shape you choose for the legs doesn't hurt in your back. Allowing that opening now along the front line. If it feels safe, you might breathe all the way down to the belly area. Just let your legs become a bit heavier here. They've done a lot of work today. Take a breath or 2 in and out, still in that supported bridge. And then slowly with your next few breaths, if you have legs extended or legs in a butterfly, slowly bend the knees so you bring feet onto the mat. Now slide your block more under your lower back. And we're going to lift our legs up. So you might want to bring arms next to the sides and then lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. And having that support, that prop in a place that still supports your lower back, your pelvis, and just let your legs rest in the air. If you then feel that you want to bring arms back overhead or open them out to the side, you're welcome to do that. It might be nice to circle your ankles here. Maybe bend and point your ankles, your feet a few times. We've spent a lot of time on the feet. Now let the feet become lighter. Take another couple of breaths here. And then slowly start to bend the knees. You can first bring knees to the chest. And then one leg at a time, bring your feet onto the mat. We're going to lift the pelvis off the block or bolster, whatever you have there, and push the prop aside and then release the back, the pelvis down. If you want, you can do a couple more windshield wipers, or if there's any other movement you would like to do now, let yourself do that. Because then next is time for Savasana pose, our resting pose. Once you feel ready, find your final relaxation pose. If you don't want to lie down on your back, you are very welcome to lie down on one side or roll down onto your belly. Again, if you feel that arms would be in a better place overhead or out on the sides, you can do that. You might bring hands onto your belly as well. That might help you feel the breath even more. Give yourself a moment here to check in. How are you feeling? How are the legs feeling? How's your back? How are your shoulders feeling now? If you notice that you are holding tension in your body that you don't need for this resting pose, then let yourself exhale that tension. Just soften. Allow your body to become a bit heavier. You might open and close the mouth a few times. Just checking that you're not holding tension around the jaw, not biting teeth together. Give yourself at least a few more breaths here. If you have time, I would encourage you to stay longer in your Savasana pose. Or if after a few breaths you feel it is time for you to close the practice, you could slowly bend the knees and roll onto your side from your resting pose. And then bring yourself up into a seat. Like I said, there is no rush, and you are more than welcome to stay longer in your resting pose. If it's a part of your practice to close the practice with palms together, then you can bring hands together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, most importantly, thank yourself. Thank yourself for looking after yourself, making yourself a bit stronger, maybe a bit more flexible today, whatever it is that you needed in your practice today. And I thank you very much for joining in, for sharing the practice. Namaste. Thank you.